Hello everybody, welcome back. Today is Thursday, October 15th. This is our second refresh session this week. I'm Pastor Steve Green. We're looking at what it is to be good, what things specifically are good in God's mind. In Romans 12:16, one example, he says, be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own opinion. As we mentioned yesterday, it is normal, it's not uncommon at all for we human beings to feel the need. This is our nature that we've inherited from Adam, to feel the need to present ourselves a little better than what we are, to find someone or something to compare ourselves favorably to find someone to be judgmental toward, it's either lifting ourselves up a bit or putting somebody down a little bit, making ourselves perhaps feel better about ourselves, to establish in our own eyes or the eyes of others that we are a cut above. So we need to resist that temptation to immediately defend ourselves when the Lord brings up this issue about not setting our mind on high things, associating with the humble, not being wise in our own conceits. Instead of just saying, well, of course, I would never even think of doing anything like that. It might be wise to consider, okay, Lord, if I'm, check me out on this. How are we doing? Let's look a little more closely at this verse. In the New Living Translation, he says, live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people. Ordinary people would be people that don't have any outward outstanding characteristics. It's just seemingly average, everyday people. And don't think you know it all. In the Amplified, it reads like this: live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty. And then in brackets it has snobby, high-minded, or exclusive. I thought it would be good to look at those words in the dictionary. Probably very few snobbish people. If you were to ask them, are you snobbish? They would say, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Again, it's a sneaky thing. It's a subtle thing, an unconscious thing. So we need to have a look at it. To be clear, I'm focusing in on this not because I think I know a lot of snobbish people. In fact, I just wouldn't think of that word as an adjective of many people I know. But it's just good. This is a way for us to be clean. And to be clean, we need to be sharp. And so that's our purpose. So a snob is a person who imitates, from the dictionary, a person who imitates, cultivates, or slavishly admires social superiors. And we're talking about, this is in a spiritual context. We're talking about in a church world now and also out in the regular world. So we could also include the idea of not just social superiors, but social superiors in a spiritual environment. Or we could say people who might be viewed as spiritual superiors. Interestingly, this could be people that we know about in our own community, or it could be people at a distance, people perhaps that are online, have a social media presence, who may be on television, somebody who is seen as being extraordinarily spiritual. There might be a temptation, a human temptation, to very publicly identify ourselves with this person or that person, because by association, that would then mean that we are like them or in their camp or similar to. This could be subtle, but the Bible is saying to be careful not to be, in this case, snobbish. A person who cultivates or slavishly admires social, or we could say spiritual superiors, and is condescending or overbearing to others. Again, the word snob may not be a word you think of or use of a lot, but perhaps when we use that description, there may be a person or two that comes to mind. High-minded. I'll tell you what, we'll stop right there for today. We appreciate you being with us. We're just learning to be sharp spiritually, because it's to our personal advantage, it's to God's advantage, it's to the advantage of those around us. We'll see you tomorrow.